The 2024 Kia Sorento. This SUV is now getting a facelift along with some other updates. So let's get right into it. But before we do, I just want to clear up some confusion. The vehicle I am talking about is the gas model Sorentos. The hybrid Sorento for 2024 actually remains the same. It doesn't get the facelift. That's going to come for the 2025 model year. But for right now, let's just get right into it. The looks of this gas model 2024 Sorento. I really like it. It kind of has like this Volvo vibe going on with the headlights and with the grille. I'll be really curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I know they're trying to make it look like the EV9 SUV, and they're trying to bring that more cohesive design language, make all the SUVs look the same. So they're facelifting it, but I don't know. To me, it just reminds me of a Volvo product, which is not a bad thing. However, the rear end still looks pretty similar. Wish they would have done more to change that, but overall, it's okay. It's a pretty handsome looking SUV. But it's the inside where we get even more upgrades. Like the entire dash has a more slim profile to it, and a pretty large 12.3-inch infotainment screen comes standard with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. I know a lot of people, they would complain, especially with the higher end Hyundai, Kia, or even Genesis products, they wouldn't offer the wireless CarPlays, but strangely they would offer it on the lower model vehicles. Here it's just coming standard across the board, and that's great. And we also get a optional 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, a fully digital gauge, but that is optional. If you go with the more base model SUV, you will be getting analog gauges, which I personally don't mind, but it seems like a lot more people nowadays, they want the full digital look. And if you decide to go with that, it pretty much connects with the infotainment screen to give you one large screen similar to the other German brands. In fact, a lot of car companies are starting to do this now. They kind of marry together both the gauge and the infotainment screens together. Anyway, the new infotainment screen, it's going to run off of the Kia Connected Car Navigation Cockpit. It's the operating system that's going to track how frequently you use certain functions in the vehicle, and it's going to show you those functions as a quick select menu, if you will. All you have to do is swipe the screen and those commonly used commands will show up. Let's quickly talk about the engines. It's pretty much a carryover. We have the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine for the base LX and the S trim. And this is going to be making 191 horsepower and 181 pounds-feet of torque, made it to a regular 8-speed automatic transmission. However, you can get a turbo 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with 281 horsepower and 311 pounds-feet of torque. And this is going to be mated to an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. And I have to admit, I've been hearing a lot of transmission issues regarding Hyundai and Kia, especially with their dual clutches. There was an individual who bought a Kia Forte GT brand new, and he's gone through 3 of these transmissions. That is insane, and he's already having issues with his third one. And the dealership that he works with, they're saying that they are stocking up on dual clutch transmissions because they're having that many issues. And the dealership said that they foresee this third one going out, so they have a 4th one ready for him. And that is crazy. I am not a fan of Hyundai Kia's DCT. With the first few vehicles I tested it with, I noticed that it wasn't that smooth around town. But forget that, the actual reliability of it is not that great, even if they did iron out some of the issues with that transmission regarding the refinement. The reliability simply is not there, so I would stay away from the turbo engine and that DCT. Front-wheel drive is going to come standard, but all-wheel drive is worth looking into because you also get the center locking differential and the torque vectoring function. Now, something else that Kia has introduced, we have the X-Line trim level from before, but they're also adding the X Pro. So these are your off-road spec Sorentos, and they both come standard with all-wheel drive. It's going to come with a special green and brown exterior color along with unique interior choices. The X-Line is going to get some black accents and a black grille along with 20-inch black wheels and standard leather seats with the X-Line logo embossed. However, when you go with the X Pro, you're going to get 17-inch wheels with all-terrain tires, and the X Pro is going to be rated to tow 4,000 pounds. And both of these trim levels, in fact, any trim level above the S is going to come with the turbo engine and the DCT, and that includes this X line and the X Pro, something to keep in mind. These seem like a good lease option because of how disposable those transmissions are. I just don't see this being a good vehicle to keep long term. Okay, and you're going to get a ton of standard safety features, and they all work extremely well, but you can also get optional safety tech like the 360 camera, a digital rear view mirror, the highway drive assist 2, and many more. And Hyundai Kia vehicles in a crash test and with their safety features, they are on point regarding that. They do very well in the IIHS tests, and their safety tech is not annoying. It works really well and it's reliable, so I don't mind that. We do not have pricing for the 2024 Sorento, but regardless, it seems like Hyundai offers the better deals than Kia. I am partnered with AutoCompanion, one of the largest automotive brokers in the country. He's located in Washington, D.C., and he does offer Hyundai Kia deals. However, it's more so of Hyundai deals. All right, for instance, with the Santa Fe, he's offering between 7 and 9% off MSRP. You take a $36,000 SEL all-wheel drive Santa Fe, you can get that for about 33 grand. And the lease rates on the Santa Fe are excellent because you have a really low interest rate on the lease, like 1.6%. And that would have been nice if you wanted to purchase these vehicles after the lease was up. However, as we just saw, the DCT is a no-go, and the regular 8-speed automatic, that's probably a lot better. If you're an owner of a Hyundai Kia product, definitely let us know your thoughts and your experiences with these vehicles and with the transmissions, as well as the dealer support that you've been getting. I get that a lot of things are the exception and not the rule, but when you have the company telling you to park the vehicle outside because of a fire risk, and when you hear these stories about multiple transmissions going out, it just doesn't paint a very attractive picture. But regardless, if you are still interested in buying one of these cars, Hyundai definitely seems to be the one with the better deals and the better discounts. Just something to keep in mind. But I do really like these vehicles. I tested the Sorento before, and it was quiet, it was comfortable, it had nice seats, the technology was great, it was ergonomic, and just an overall really refined package. It wasn't the best handling by any means, but it was okay. It got the job done. Once again, it's doing the important things really well, like comfort and refinement. And these are products I really would like to recommend to people because it's ticking off all the boxes. They tend to undercut the competition in terms of its MSRP pricing, and the 10-year 100,000 mile warranty, that's great on paper, but I don't know. It's tough to tell someone to go out and buy one of these vehicles. Some good news is I do know of a gentleman, his name is Aniki or Aniki, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's like Aniki111. This gentleman, I think he does rideshare services like Uber and DoorDash, and he has an Elantra, and I don't think he's had any issues with it. He's saying that he's going to keep his vehicle until 400,000 miles. He already has like a couple 100,000 miles on his vehicle, I think, and he's had no issues with it. In fact, I'm really curious to hear from the IVT owners. That's their chain-driven CVT system. I feel like that would have been a great transmission, one of the most reliable CVTs out there. But when I did some research, I've seen people with issues regarding the IVT, like power loss and some shaking and juddering, which is a bit unfortunate. But for the most part, a lot of people are saying that the IVT issues are far and few between. Most of them have been pretty reliable. Of course, the ones that took a dump on people, they get plastered all over the internet, on Reddit, etc. But definitely, Hyundai Kia owners, leave your thoughts and your experiences below. These are some nice driving vehicles. I like their style, I like their interiors and the way they drive. But thank you so much for watching. Take care and goodbye.